Let's see.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 159 of the Toonami Escape podcast. I'm Greg Zeno. Tonight we have B-Dubs.
Hello.
C-Kohler.
Hey guys.
And Seda.
Hi.
We're gathered here today for the summary execution of Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
Yep.
But first we've got to talk about the current chaotic state of the block. So, in case you were wondering what the schedule was this week, B-Dubs, here we go. For this week only, 7/20/2019, 11 p.m., Dragon Ball Super. 11:30, Attack on Titan, last week's episode.
Why last
12 o'clock, Attack on Titan, new episode.
What?
12:30, Loop on the Third, 1 o'clock, Food Wars, 1:30, Black Clover, 2 o'clock, Boruto, 2:30, Naruto, 3 o'clock, Gundam, 3:30, MHA. So here's the DeMarco tweet. Hey, Toonami fans, we have a great new title coming, but we weren't able to get it for this week, even though that was the plan. Unavoidable delays mean we'll have to wait a bit longer to announce it, but we'll hopefully, in all caps, premiere it next week. We appreciate your patience.
I wonder if this was one of the two shows he said they could not get.
No, because he said that those were longer term in terms of when they could possibly come.
Right.
So do you think this was like a... Oh no! Shows couldn't get. We were turned down, or we weren't able to get 2 shows. Now we got to rush to get 2 other shows. So they got Food Wars, I think, and then this other one was like, oh, we got to rush to get this show in here, but they couldn't get it in time, so we got to wait a week.
I don't know. I mean, Food Wars kind of makes sense with them sort of going after weirder stuff lately.
Food Wars is the one they said was like, hey, this one's going to be weird.
I also think Food Wars length is actually a plus to them because they have so many slots they have to manage now. Like especially with Hunter x Hunter gone, we need something that will last us that we can stick in a spot for a year and a half and not have to worry about it.
Right.
Food Wars definitely could have been that. It definitely could have been that show that they were talking about. It's just the only reason I think it might have been a last minute replacement was because they didn't announce it until literally it was happening.
Right. I'm thinking.
Also, they didn't have a lineup promo for it.
No,
they haven't done a new lineup promo.
Right.
I guess now they're not going to do one because it's like, oh shit.
I mean, I kind of feel like what would even put in a promo for Food Wars because it's like, how much can you actually show?
Oh, they made a promo.
You can make one. Yeah.
You can make one.
They made a promo.
Haven't shown it yet.
They showed it.
There was one. It was like a
right. Oh,
they just didn't show it as much as the Gundam promo because Jason sure does love himself some Gundam.
Well, I think the Gundam was more of a lock that they had time to prepare for. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's also sort of more appealing to the fan base.
The classic Toonami fan base, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's people tune in generally for action shows, not for
food porn.
Yeah, pretty. Well, I mean, just porn.
I've said this before, but I am somewhat surprised that they are so far seemingly trying to maintain having 10 premiering shows. I could have predicted. My assumption was when Hunter x Hunter was ending or
send something
Promised
into
Neverland or something, that at least one of the slots was either going to be cut or become a repeat or something. I mean, we have one repeat show this week, but it seems like that's just a filler stopgap. So I'm a little bit surprised that there actually is a replacement show for SAO. Like I was expecting it just to some other show is going to come in as a rerun, or they're just going to cut a slot or whatever. But no, they're replacing it with something. And you talked last week on the podcast how we have more shows ending, and some of these new ones like Gundam and Genlock aren't going to be here that long.
Right.
Well, Gundam's a standard 13 episode one.
Yeah, Genlock is what, a couple?
8.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're still in the situation where still most of the block needs to be replaced before the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at. It feels I'm a little bit surprised that so far they just seem to be they're keeping up with 10 premiering shows. I wonder how long they're going to try to maintain that.
I mean, I feel
like you said, Food Wars could be around for a while, so that's good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Naruto doesn't really count.
Yeah, almost. I get what you mean. Like Naruto, Boruto, and Black Clover, there's we'll just keep these.
We've mentally classified them. Look, technically, they're premieres.
They're technically premieres, but they're not leaving
Naruto and
any
Black
point in the
Clover,
future.
you don't actually have to count those as slots. They have to worry about because those aren't going anywhere.
Right.
Boruto also, so that's 3 that they don't actually have to like really worry about.
Right. I mean, those basically count as rerun slots almost.
Those are literally indefinite.
Yeah.
Although Black Clover is maybe ending because they haven't announced a new season yet.
Right.
Although maybe it was like, of course we didn't announce it. It's just going to keep going.
I was about to try to make a prediction about what this mysterious show is, but honestly, with some of the more recent announcements, I'm not even going to try.
Nope. Which means it's going to be everything everyone thought, and it's just going to be Dr. Stone.
I don't know. I feel like if it was going to be that, it would have been easier to get. I feel like it's something that had some exclusivity to it. And
Dr. Stone, the thing is that the first episode of the dub is out on the 19th, so that's a really short lead time.
Mm-hmm.
So if they wanted to air it this like a day after, I can easily see how something might have been. Oh, it can't do it.
Well,
sorry.
Well, they did it with.
Wait, is it the Funimation simuldub?
It's actually Crunchyroll.
It's a Crunchyroll.
Oh, okay.
The thing about Dr. Stone is, and I don't want to get my hopes up because I think it would be an amazing addition to the block, but the thing about Dr. Stone is that it's another one of these 100% Crunchyroll shows.
Right.
So it's like the partnership would make it plausible.
Yes.
But we also expect to get like Mob Psycho season 2 at some point, right?
Some point, hopefully.
Unless
it did bad in ratings.
Like the reason I'm thinking that it's probably not Dr. Stone, because it's not the first time they've had a dub show up on short lead time. Like the very first one was Space Dandy, and we got those literally a day before Japan.
I wouldn't even count that.
That is a different situation because Toonami was very much. They were more directly involved.
Right, but at the same time, it's still one of those things. I don't think it would be a huge issue.
Well, when it comes to like dub premierings,
Crunchyroll may have been like, "We would love you to have it, but just not that soon."
Well, like Funimation, for some of their shows, like Attack on Titan, the dub comes out like 2 weeks after the subtitle version.
Generally, it's like a 3-week delay.
2 to 4 weeks or whatever.
Right.
And we get Attack on Titan like 12 hours before it goes up on their site, the dub version or something like that. Some shows like Super obviously is a much longer delay, but I think do those go up on the site right after they air on Toonami too, or no? I'm just thinking how it works. Viz, we get a lot of Viz dub premieres, and those I don't know if they're available for streaming anywhere. The dub versions.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that Crunchyroll, like, if it turns out that we're getting it like 1 week later from when the dub debuts online, that's actually kind of fits with a bit of what DeMarco was saying recently in a panel when he was talking about, ways that Toonami could survive. And it's like, he specifically said reducing the turnaround time between when a show is available and when it broadcasts.
Right.
So yeah. Who knows what the fuck is happening? The story of this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pessimistic and just assume it's gonna be some show I don't have any interest in or I've never heard of, just to quell it,
Intel Hero.
Oh, God. No. I feel like if there was an issue and they couldn't get it this week, it's because it was some kind of weird rights thing.
No, I mean, like I said, I think the thing where it's like, look, the first episode is supposed to come, a dubbed episode is supposed to come out on the 19th. And maybe trying to air it on the 20th the next day was just too close.
No, I really think it's it's some kind of legal thing.
It is strange though that
we've had.
I can see it both ways. On one hand, I can see like production holding it back. On the other hand, I could see it being like they had planned this to happen. Why the delay? And we know in the past that they've had like rights delays in the past.
It's something that has happened before, so I think it's one of those things we shouldn't.
But what do you think it is, B-dubs?
I think it's a rights thing. I think it's a legal.
No. I mean, what do you think the show is?
Oh, I got no fucking idea. Well, like I assume it's something that's exclusive somewhere else. And that's why we can't get it easily. I assume it's not Crunchyroll because then I don't think there would be a rights delay.
That sounds like One Punch Man.
I feel like a rights delay wouldn't pop its head up this close to its premiere date. Like I could see that maybe for shows they were planning to launch in a month or two.
Well, wait.
What
did he say in the tweet? What was the reason?
They didn't give a specific reason.
What did
I thought
it
he
say?
alluded to it.
Probably said something.
Do you still have that up?
Yes.
Let me go grab that.
I will just say outwardly, this is the closest to an airing, a TV broadcast where the schedule was unknown, like what,
right.
3 or 4 days out.
Okay, it's unavoidable delays, but we'll hopefully get it next week. That sounds like it's not just right. Unavoidable delays, and we'll have to wait a bit longer to announce it, but we'll hopefully premiere it next week.
We have
a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Also, did we talk about last week about those two, when he said those two shows from MomoCon that they weren't able to announce are actually not coming?
I thought we mentioned that.
I don't remember. I can't remember when things happened.
Okay, regardless, at Momo. Well, yeah, we did because I remember us answer. I mentioned all that stuff, but yeah, there were two shows.
Yeah, we were talking about Funimation.
Yeah, 2 shows. He said specifically. Oh no, wait, that was a tweet that happened later. Yeah, you're right. It was like somebody online said, "Hey, what happened to those 2 shows you mentioned? Are they, and are they going to come back?" And DeMarco in an Ask FM said, "No." He says they're not going to come back in any foreseeable or in the foreseeable future. It's almost like
he said the same. Basically, he used the same language when he was talking about like My Hero Academia. Yeah, and that totally happened.
Right, but he was just like, I don't see this happening now. It's like they were trying to get 2 shows and they just fell through. So interesting stuff, but without the details, it's just kind of like whatever.
Yeah, just speculation can only be interesting for so long.
Yeah,
let me go find this post.
Like honestly, with where he says hopefully premiere next week, I feel like that's more of a rights thing.
I wonder if we'll get like let's say they sort of figure this out before the end of the week. If during Toonami this week they have a promo all ready to go.
There's no way. There's no way because they get the show material so late now.
Maybe
there's no way.
That's.
I'm wondering if maybe they have like the promo and something or whatever all ready to go.
Yeah,
but they just need to get like a green light.
Honestly, I think what's going to happen is we're going to get a Facebook announcement.
I mean, that's what 90% of them are now.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that if it's a rights thing, they might already have the show, and it could have just like crapped them over in the last couple minutes.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with the rights thing, but it's like I only agree with the rights thing if insofar as because they had 2 shows they were going to get, they couldn't get them, and now they're rushing to get the rights to something else. And then then I can see there being like waiting for lawyers. But other than that, it's just as likely, like Greg said, that maybe they're trying to get something dubbed very quickly, and it's turnaround times are a factor, and and that could lead to a delay.
Also, he said unavoidable delays, so I don't know. What if what if it's something let's say it's the Dr. Stone dub, but it turns out the dub won't be able to be finished on the 19th like it's scheduled to.
But at the same time, they're saying hopefully next week.
Yeah, but hopefully could mean
they
that
might not actually get it.
Right, because either because of a rights delay or because a performer couldn't go into the booth and record something. Who knows?
Well, if it's the Dr. Stone thing, then we'll definitely know because it'll either come out or not the day before. Like if Dr. Stone doesn't come out on the 19th as planned.
Maybe, and they have the deal with Crunchyroll, but maybe Crunchyroll was like, we'd like more than a day of this dub to be exclusive to our service.
One last thing I'll leave you guys with, and I think we should move on, is that we've also dealt with these kinds of issues when it came to openings and ending themes, delaying a show's release because of that. Right. So it could also be something related to like they already have the rights to the show, but they're waiting to hear back about the music.
Yeah, because airing like a certain track on like international TV can be
tricky
because the music is owned by some other company. Yeah.
Right. Like Lupin had that exact problem last season.
No, that was because they licensed the Italian version.
Well, they licensed the Italian version because they couldn't get the rights to the music for the Japanese one, didn't they?
They got it now.
Well, yeah, they got it now, but
There was an issue with Space Standing. They couldn't air the ending.
oh, right.
That's right. They had to make the entire and they made that show.
Right.
Yeah.
But that track, which by the way was a Yoko Kano track. Man, I can't believe we didn't get that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, who knows? Maybe it was owned by some label in Japan. So
yeah,
we hate everything.
Yeah, the music things tend to be because of sort of Japanese recording companies being like, no, or they want more money. At least from what I've read. God, this really could be anything.
Yep.
Which is why we should just move on.
That's exactly when they hit you with the least surprising thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's going to wind up being something super obvious that we didn't think of.
Dr. Stone.
Yeah, I think you're getting your hopes up.
Super obvious that we didn't think of is a complete oxymoron.
No. Like right now, we're thinking Dr. Stone. It could just be something that is on some other service, and we're like, oh, there's more than one simuldub coming.
Did you say super obvious? Super?
Okay,
are we going to talk about super?
Yeah, no, we should.
I feel like you're hinting at something.
I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe
I'm hinting that we've been talking for 15 minutes about this. Let's go.
Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super, episode 119. Impossible to dodge? The menace of the stealth attack. In this episode, Universe 7 gets attacked by some dumb shit. Like an invisible dude and a tiny dude.
Yep.
Like a small little conjurer man.
Like Adam Ant showed up. Up and Adam Ant.
My immediate thought on this is that I kind of like these sort of goofy, non-traditional powers. Like rather than just being like an energy battle, like who's got more energy and who's stronger. It's just kind of like these weird, awkward fighting styles. I do think maybe a little bit misplaced in the tournament when things are heating up. It's like
these should have been
earlier.
These should have been running around when there was a bunch of mass confusion when all the universes were still in.
Yeah.
Like if your strategy is trip up people close to the edge and make them fall over, like that's way more effective when two other guys are going at it and they don't even care to notice you.
Right, but see, then the characters we already know wouldn't be able to eliminate a bunch of universes.
Right. Also, Piccolo got knocked out by Tiny Bug Dude, and that's a really pathetic elimination for Piccolo.
It was really fucking sad for him.
Like, Krillin didn't necessarily deserve better. Piccolo definitely did.
Yeah, I mean, Piccolo had a really cool fight the other week, but then he just goes out like, oops, I tripped.
So the bug dude was the one that they were like, where's the other member?
It was him and the invisible dude were at the start where they were like, wow, they're missing two, but I can sense some energy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Chuck E. Cheese's plan didn't quite pan out.
Nah. Seems like it.
But yeah, so another universe is down. Sorry, yellow rat dude.
And then now apparently there's still a bunch of robots that
No, there's only 3 left. The 2 important ones, and also some robots.
it feels like an afterthought. Like, oh yeah, we have 12 universes, and we have to actually
eliminate them.
What happened? Like, what happened to these guys?
It's like, oh fuck, we still have another fucking universe. God fucking damn it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, where have all these robots been the whole time? Just sort of just chilling out, or what?
Yeah, exactly.
Are we going to hear more Chugga Chugga?
No, he's dead.
He's not even in the robot universe. He's
was murdered already.
But yeah, this episode was That's my thoughts.
I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was earlier in the tournament. It just feels weirdly placed.
I mean, honestly, I like the weird ones better, but yeah.
Yeah. Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan episode 57 that day. But before we get to that,
Oh yeah. So yeah, we were all talking last week about the fact that they totally left off the post-credit scene, and we did learn after the fact. I don't know if we learned that during the podcast or not, but that it was Toonami's fault. It wasn't Funimation. Toonami actually screwed up and clipped off the clip, but in a cool way, they apologized and actually showed that clip this week. And they even got Steve Bloom to come in and voice something about that. So I'll play that right now.
Yeah.
Yo, there was a post-credit scene at the end of last week's Attack on Titan that mistakenly didn't air. Sorry about that. We're gonna run it right now. And then let's start this week's episode.
It's kind of funny too because they aired that, but then they also left in the next episode preview as well.
God damn it!
Which we never get.
Yeah.
We still can't.
Anyway, that was cool that they did that. So
that was the absolute best possible way they could have
handled it.
Basically accounted for the mistake. I mean, obviously, don't make the mistake in the first place, but for addressing it, that was the best possible thing they could do.
Exactly. I mean, and to go as far as to get Steve Bloom to record that, they could have just put up a message, but they actually got, that to happen. I thought that was cool.
Yep. I think they realized, like, sometimes you can't expect DeMarco or everyone to be familiar with every single show, and maybe they may not have realized how important of a post-credit scene this was, but either they knew or they kind of realized from the outcry, like, oh boy, this was a big one that we missed. So
we screwed the pooch here.
So that might have enticed them to, like, yeah, let's get Steve to do a couple of lines and let's do this. So
I think they would have been like, well, without it, people would have tuned in and been like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
Why are we in Nazi Germany?
I have no idea.
So yeah, this episode has a lot.
So you wanted to know what the secret of the outside of the walls was? Well, you're going to find out.
Yep.
Turns out it's just 1930. It's just 1930s Earth.
I will say the fact that we are actually having this episode replayed is not a terrible episode to replay, to be honest.
Right.
There's a lot to digest here. In terms of, I mentioned the last time I was on the podcast, like, there was so much that we didn't know that we were about to learn, and we're basically drinking from a fire hose here. Like, here's everything. Here's the explanation, and it's just like, whoa. Let's try to
and just to clarify, even though I think you were just sort of using a turn of phrase, Grex, but like, this isn't Earth. This is like another world.
Yeah.
But it has a history, and the history apparently has something to do with that. I don't know how long ago, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago. I don't know. Somebody made a deal with the devil, and that's where the Titans came from.
Well, that's the thing, is that I'm still that ancient history is something where it's like, I think this is probably not right.
Well, so there's this like original Titan that they call Ymir something.
It's Ymir.
Yeah.
Is it the same Ymir we know?
They say she was the one who was the original Titan.
Yeah, and now obviously my first thought is like, okay, we know another Ymir. Is there any connection there? Is that just a coincidence?
Well, I know the answer to this. I figured this out.
Okay.
When Ymir was a child, the one we know, she had a different name.
Oh right, I think I remember that.
Right, but that cult took her in, and they worshipped the original Ymir, and that's why they named her that.
Okay, that's what it is.
Okay,
but like the I'm trying to remember. Do you know what the different? There's two different nations or two different peoples that we learned here.
Okay, so the Nazis are the Marlians.
Marlians,
right?
The Jacob Marley.
Yeah.
Doom Scrooge.
And in our
call them demons.
But they have different interpretations of what Ymir was, like
right.
Titans. Like one of them.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like both of these are probably not quite correct.
Right.
But so basically, Marlians are the Nazis, Eldians are the Titans.
Yeah, so the Eldians believe, or at least Grisha does, that Ymir and Titans actually helped to build the world, where the Marlians believe that they're basically conquering dangerous force. Mm-hmm. So we don't know for certain which is more correct. I think we're obviously supposed to be sympathetic to the Eldians, but we don't know for sure.
Right.
And Oh boy, there's a lot in this episode.
Oh,
I don't know where
boy.
to start.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost blink and you miss it, the fact that Zeke is Aaron's half-brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So earlier in the series, Zeke said some cryptic things to Aaron, basically implying that he knew Grisha. I was actually thinking at that point that he was like his uncle or something.
Yeah.
Like, because evil uncles is kind of a common trope or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that might make sense. Who knows? I didn't expect him to be Aaron's brother. Actually, I thought he felt a little bit too old.
Well, a lot of time passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, kind of starting from the beginning, it's like, okay, Grisha and his sister go outside of the ghetto to go see some Zeppelins, and then,
It makes them be in trouble.
Does not go great for Grisha's sister. It goes extremely bad.
Yeah.
She dies because there's a real asshole guy with glasses who basically takes her back and decides it would be interesting to see what would happen if a bunch of dogs killed an Eldian, and so
Yeah.
he suck a bunch of dogs on her and she died.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's like
This
two
guy shows up later at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
as well.
both of these guards show up later. Like there's I'm extremely Nazi, and there's other guy who's like, I'm technically a Nazi, but I'm not. I don't really like love my job.
He's like, I'm not into this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Like, it's
okay, I have to beat you, but
And I liked the twist at the end because I didn't see it coming, which is that other guard, the slender one,
The
Mhm.
owl.
which is the fat guy down who has his face eaten off. That guy ends up being this mysterious guy called the Owl, who is actually the behind the scenes leader of this resistance.
Right.
And one other part of this episode was, so I guess like the Marlians were like recruiting Eldians to be like Titan battlers or Titan, like they wanted to like use them, and Grisha sent Zeke, hoping that like Zeke could be
One of them.
well, no, like a spy.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he wanted Zeke to get one of the powers and then sort of bring it back, I guess.
they wanted Zeke to be a spy.
I don't know if the powers were involved because I don't know that they have a way to transform them into Titans that aren't just mindless zombies.
Oh no,
Yeah, that's well. Let me just finish my thought here.
okay.
Or description, I guess. But instead of Zeke being a spy, Zeke basically just was a snitch and was like, "Hey, just so you know, my parents and this group of Eldians are trying to turn against the Marlian government here."
And it's like Grisha's like, "Oh, I really was angry when my father did this exact same thing to me. I should have seen this coming."
Yeah.
Now there's this one part about like world lore that I need to rewatching again might grasp. So there are like 10 special Titans. Is that what they said, or 9?
9.
Yeah, 9.
And like
the Marlians were able to like take the power of 7 of the 9.
The Marlians had 7 of them, and I guess 2 of them went to the island of Paradis. Is that what it was?
Like the original Titan power?
Yeah, like the King Titan thing. Yeah.
And some other one. I don't know if it's been
okay.
I don't know if all 9 of these special Titans have been described yet.
We definitely haven't, but I think we can. Okay, so number 1, Aaron's Titan is like the original Titan power. Maybe.
No, like there's the Titan that they use to sort of wipe everyone's memory, I think.
Oh boy, that's Aaron's Titan.
Yeah, does Aaron Titan have a name?
That now.
He's the founding Titan. Don't they?
No, like he has that one now.
Yeah,
he stole that one from what's their face?
Aaron never stole a Titan.
Well, he didn't intentionally.
Not on purpose.
Number 1, Colossal Titan. Number 2, Armored Titan. Number 3, Female Titan. There's 3. Number 4 is
Beast Titan.
Beast Titan.
Right.
Number 5 is a four-wheeled cart Titan.
Wait, is that a special Titan? Or?
Yes, because it can talk.
Oh, I guess so.
All right.
That's 5.
There's also the Jaw Titan, which is Ymir.
Right.
Yeah, Ymir has the original Titan power.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I
never thought that.
I thought don't they say that Aaron is the founding?
No, he
That's
got
what they've always said that.
No, he got the founding recently when he was kidnapped, and they were trying to eat him for some reason, I think. Hang on.
Well, anyway, how many is that? 6?
That's 5 that I'm completely sure about.
Right.
All right, hang on. I'm just gonna.
Aaron is 6 with something.
Okay, hang on. I just googled it. Okay, there's the Founding Titan, the Attack Titan, the Colossus Titan.
Wait, what's the Attack Titan?
Oh, also that was just revealed.
I thought that was
Yeah, you gotta be careful. I think you're going to read stuff that we don't know.
No, it
yet.
wasn't just revealed.
Okay, the thing I'm confused about is which one is Aaron's Titan? Like, what's its name? Does it have one?
Yes.
Okay, I just looked it up. I guess Aaron's Titan is the Attack one.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if that's been revealed or has been given that name in the anime. I think I might have been confusing people. I don't know.
It's not important.
That's
it's not
how that
important.
works.
We're going down like minutia here.
Yeah,
So,
this is just something I was just kind of confused about when they sort of they actually basically put a number on. There are this many special Titans. I don't think we knew that before.
There's 9 of them. There's the Hardening Titan too.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, the armored
We've been introduced to some of them and whatever.
Yeah.
And then another thing that was a little confusing to me at the end of this episode was when they were lining up the Eldians to they weren't assassinating them. They were like turning them into mindless Titans. And we see some of the mindless Titans from the beginning of the series, including his wife, who ends up being the one that kills Aaron's parents or mother. And so, are they on Paradis in that scene?
Yeah, I think they bring them there to kind of like, hey, fuck
on
you
the
guys.
edge of the island or something.
Yeah, I think they bring them there like, hey, fuck you guys. We're gonna turn you into Titans, but we're not gonna let you loose on regular land because that would fuck us up.
I'm going to ask a question, and if you think this is spoilery, just say that's a spoiler.
Okay.
How when they're being lined up at that wall and they're getting in the injections at the end of that episode, how long before the first episode is that taking place?
A few years because of Grease's age.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Or at least older than Aaron.
Yeah.
Older than Aaron could be because he's not born yet.
Yeah, Grisha has not met Aaron's mother. Who's
good point. Okay, yeah. Okay,
so you were wondering about the Founding Titan? So that is, Aaron does have it. Aaron does. So here's the thing.
He has both?
Do you remember in season 2 or the first part of season 3 where the family was passing down the Founding Titan power, right?
And they wanted to give it to Historia.
Right. No, well, remember the scene where the previous one was attacked by Grisha because he turned into a Titan?
Right.
Grisha had Aaron's current Titan power and then gave it to him.
Oh, that's right.
And then Grisha
Grisha turned Aaron into a Titan when he was a child, and Aaron.
And that's when Grisha gave him both the power of his current Titan, like the normal Titan we all know, and the Founding Titan, because he had eaten Frida's Titan.
So he had both.
So he had both, and then he turned Aaron into a Titan, got eaten. Now Aaron has them both.
Got it.
So that's why they were
confusing me.
That's why they kidnapped Aaron, because he had the Founding Titan power.
That was so. I guess he technically
and the Attack Titan power.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Also,
so
we might need to bleep out every instance of Attack Titan.
He's like Blackbeard. He can have like 2 devil fruits at once.
I'm pretty sure he's got 3 at this point.
It looks like Titans can stack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
just to reiterate, you get a Titan power by basically turning someone into a normal plain Titan, and then they eat it.
Yeah.
And they eat someone with the power.
That's how it gets transferred. Yeah.
Right.
Because remember that whole scene in the previous season when they had him chained up?
Yep.
Also, by the way, Ymir's Titan was the Jaw Titan.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was the Biting Titan, but yeah, Jaw, whatever.
Well,
so there you go. And there's one more that has completely been not mentioned at all yet. So.
Okay.
So some of the Eldian, so the people living on Paradis, they are Eldians that basically just left?
Yes, and then the guy who left with them then used the founding Titans' power to wipe all of those Eldians' memories away so that they would have no memory of where they came from.
Mhm.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it all kind of makes sense now to a certain extent. And I will say this, like, I was kind of bracing myself for like here's a revelation that's going to be like too much information, like midi-chlorians, Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's not like that though. Like, there's still obviously some kind of unexplained shit where, like, I don't know why there are Titans still. It's just that all we've learned is that there's actually a wider world out there, and that the island we've been setting the series on is just one piece of that.
Right.
So if we now, first of all, this next episode of the series is more flashback, so they're going to explain more. But trying to put into context of what's like currently happening in the present day. So the Beast Titan, who is Zeke, is working alongside the Colossal and Armored Titans. So these are all people who are at least seemingly loyal to the Marlians in the present day, and they are attacking this parody nation of Eldians who have basically forgotten everything, right?
Right.
I mean, I know some of this has not been explained yet, but just trying to, from what we know.
Well, for the record, yes, Seda, that's kind of the conclusion I've drawn at this point, not knowing anything further. I agree. It sounds like, because we, obviously Zeke betrayed his father.
Yeah, he's an Eldian, but it seems like he's loyal to Marlians.
Kind of. It's either that or he's decided to go third party or something. I don't know.
So but we still don't really know exactly in the present day what Zeke, Bertolt, who's now dead, and Reiner, and what that group of people. Ymir is also a part of that. We don't know exactly what they're trying to do, other than
they've also
get the founding titan. Is that it?
Yeah, and in the past, when they've shown this group by themselves, it's always been really weird. Like Ymir didn't really want to be a part of it, and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm not really sure that they're Marlian loyal.
What I'm also kind of getting at is I'm trying to understand like what exactly the controversy is. I still don't feel like I know who I'm supposed to be sympathetic to yet, and because of that, I don't know if this is controversial.
Well, that's the problem, is that they're directly lifting Nazi, stuff with that, and then it's like, who's the bad guy?
Well, if like so far, I don't think they've made the Marlians very sympathetic. So
absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, so if the Marlians are sort of Nazi-ish, but I'm supposed to hate them, it's like, oh, okay, then maybe it's a little bit lazy that they're so reminiscent of Nazis.
Well,
I don't really care that much. But if they try to tell me that actually the Marlians were doing the right thing and all this stuff with the Eldians, and then if the show is trying to genuinely make a Nazi viewpoint seem valid, then I'll start to question it. Like, really, guys?
I think the other inherent issue is that, I mean, giving superpowers to the Eldians is like also like.
Well, like the reason they hate the Eldians is because they have the Titan powers and can turn into giant monsters and kill them all at really any point they choose.
The real world hatred is always based on total falsehoods.
Mm-hmm.
And here it's they actually do turn into Titans and eat people.
So yeah, I can see maybe where the
People
show
would have
actually,
a problem with that.
Yeah, like if I'm supposed to feel like there's any validity to what the Marlians are doing, then it's like, okay, yeah.
It's just this weird thing where it never really tells you which side is the good side, and then sort of.
Well, I think I shouldn't. I think based on what I've seen, I should know which side is the good side.
Now, what do you guys think of Grisha? Like his decisions and what he's done?
Well, I mean, I don't know. What do you mean?
Well, I just saw some people in the thread saying like, "Geez, Grisha was a piece of shit," and it's just like,
yeah, a little bit.
I mean, he basically decided that he didn't want the current situation to be the status quo where his people are living as subjugated people, and he basically took an extreme route in trying to kind of create a resistance and try to
like the resistance
thing, everything. But like, does that make him a piece of shit?
Well, I mean,
I haven't seen him do. Honestly, I haven't seen him do anything that makes me feel like he's a bad character. If anything, he sacrificed himself to give his own son Titan powers.
Well, at the same time, he's kind of like trying to force his son to be something he might not really want to be. Like his son
The worst
didn't
thing
really
he
have
did
any
was that
choice
he
in
didn't
it.
explain anything. That's
Well,
it.
Yeah.
We also don't know exactly, and this is obviously where the next episode will lead us to, is where does Grisha go from this point where he was almost killed for being a traitor to how he ends up on the island of Paradis. Like,
also, by the way, Grisha's first wife ate his second wife.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Yeah.
So that's awkward.
And I'm assuming that's just like stupid coincidence.
Yeah, this is a case where it's like everything has to be connected, and it's like it doesn't necessarily have to be that way.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence thing for fun, really.
That could have just been a Titan, but no. Also, notice that remember Santa Titan, that the one that tried to eat Aaron and then actually did eat, or Armin.
Oh right,
Aaron. We saw that one, and then it's like, haha, everything's connected, and it's like they're a little too connected.
All right. I'm intrigued, and I thought that the episode was really good because, and I agree with Seda that I'm totally glad they're airing it again because I need to watch it again anyway.
Yeah.
I did love the ending of the episode where just like everything is going to shit, and then it's just really dramatic the way the owl reveals himself. It's an overwhelming episode, to be sure.
He's like, "This is how I'm going to teach you something. This is how Titans kick ass," and then he like gets into the water and like breaks a boat over in half.
It's like, I'm going to suplex a boat.
Yeah.
Sword Art Online.
Oh boy.
Sword Art Online Alicization, episode 24. My Hero, which is the first episode of My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
No, wait, no. It's the episode where he fights Muscular and saves the kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway. Oh, boy. In this episode, Kirito is like, wait, why didn't I just dual wield and also wear my cool back outfit?
So he can just do that, by the way.
He can just do that. I guess.
He can just like, hey, I'm going to summon my old outfit. Beep.
It feels like superficially cool, like in a middle school sense. Like, oh yeah, I'm wearing my black trench coat and dual wield. Look how cool I look now. Just,
I like black as a color scheme for like my creative characters.
Yeah, but just
I'm sorry.
I just think Kirito's normal design is very, very just like stereotypical for like cool anime protagonist design.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of them are like that because of Kirito.
So yeah, they of course they fight and Kirito wins, of course, but he doesn't actually defeat the naked girl. She ends up summoning her crystal laptop and reveals her ultimate plan, which is to upload herself into the real world.
But that doesn't work because suddenly the creepy clown dude is motorboating her breasts while burning her to death.
Yeah, that's something that happened.
I don't know what the fuck that was.
Also, she somehow just got like power to like use her hair as like appendages.
Oh yeah, she was. It's also like, why didn't you just grab like 11,000 swords with your hair?
It's like, sure, I guess you can do that.
She was too busy using her hair to cover up her fucking nakedness.
See, that explains why it was always in the right position, because she was consciously.
Yeah.
The fight was also kind of silly.
Just what the hell is with this scene where
like they're cutting each other's arms off and just like keep fighting, just like it's Monty Python-esque, like really.
Yeah.
It's a flesh wound.
And did it ever even try to explain how she was going to upload herself to the real world other than I figured out how to do it?
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to make predictions too much here, but I think she succeeded. It's just that what got uploaded wasn't just her. It was some kind of like version of her that incorporated the weird clown. That's my theory.
Because at the end she was floating above the city and is like, I did it all out of love. And then it's like, okay, we've had our last second try to redeem the villain, which means he's definitely dead.
Well, I thought that meant that she succeeded and that she was leaving.
No, that's a thing. That's absolutely a thing. It's like, well, I guess I died.
Oh.
I think she's gone.
I'm pretty sure she's dead.
I think she literally just got motorboated to death by creepy
Okay.
dude.
I will.
Yeah.
I will say this: as awkward and weird as it is to have that be the way she goes out, I gotta say, the animation in that scene was really good. Like, I know that sounds weird, but I'm just saying they got some crazy good Sakuga in that moment, in that final moment of that animation. That's not the kind of thing that needed it, but it looked really good.
It was extremely creepy, like,
Yeah.
and it seemed like it was intentionally that way, like this flaming. It was eventually like this flaming, eerie skull. Yeah.
Just motorboating her.
But it looked like, animation-wise, it was really quality animation. It's just, why did it have to be of a naked girl being attacked by a clown sexually?
Yeah, I feel like, why not do that for the actual fight and not when she's being motorboated to death?
Well, there was some good animation in the fight too.
Yeah,
I mean, overall, the animation in this show is good.
Yeah, the big problem is that it's,
Oh yeah, it goes without saying.
Dumb and bad.
Writing it sucks.
Yeah.
So I am not really clear about what happened to Yu-Gi-Oh. I know that I think
sure
died and went to Floodlight Heaven.
Also, they were talking about how, as if Alice was dead, and everyone was like, "Wait, Alice is totally alive. What's going on?"
Well, it's like the version of her that was a child.
Her memories were not restored.
Mm-hmm.
And now with Administrator gone, they can never be restored.
But the weird thing is that like new Alice wants her old memories back. Like,
well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, she made that decision. I guess it can't happen anymore if Administrator's not there, right? But
that's kind of what the scene was showing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear that at that point that's what they're going to do. But it's just like, why?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I figured it out. They're saying Kid Alice is that Alice is never coming back.
Right. You can't get the memories back.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh and the child Alice memories are gone forever, and I think that's true because we saw.
I don't buy that Yu-Gi-Oh is gone forever.
Okay, well, he could come back, but here's the thing: they did show a preview online of the next season. It wasn't on Toonami, but it was posted online, and I guess it's from like the first episode.
Because it's starting up again in Japan.
Right, and all I'll say is that the only two characters that appeared in it were Kirito and Alice.
That makes sense.
And that's it. Yep. And then nobody else was shown. So I think Yu-Gi-Oh's out of the picture for a while, at least, if not forever.
I mean, he's dead. Come on.
They're not going to bring him back when the show is over.
There's some stupid cheap drama too. I mean, this show has a myriad of problems, but so like earlier, Pontifex or Quinella or Administrator, whatever her name is, was like trying to prove or trying to trick Yu-Gi-Oh that like Alice actually didn't like him, and like he tried to get Yu-Gi-Oh to remember a scene like from his childhood where Alice and Kirito were like huddled in like a field or something. Yeah. But then we actually saw like the conclusion of that scene is that the reason why they were huddled and hiding from Yu-Gi-Oh is that they were making him a present. And it just kind of felt like a cheap drama thing. Like,
of course
really
it was.
Need this at all. Obviously Yu-Gi-Oh and Alice were good friends as children. And this is basically the way they're sent off. Like, oh, they're still friends, but now they're both dead. But at least they're dead together, sort of.
I hated I'll tell you the thing, I didn't really mind the episode too much. I mean, it's all terrible, right, writing wise, but like it was kind of exciting a little bit to watch the battle, I guess, even though I wasn't invested in the characters. But the thing that really made me really dislike the episode was the overly extended death scene for Yu-Gi-Oh, where they just have a heart-to-heart that goes on for like 7 to 8 minutes.
Wait, even despite being cut in half, I can still talk.
And it's just so like forced in like how, unless you like absolutely love these characters to death, you're just going to be bored where they're just like, get it over with. You're trying to get an Oscar nomination here? What is going on? I was so done with that scene. It just kept going on and on.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the floating platform is being attacked by some mysterious military dudes. The dumbest thing SAO would totally do here would be to make these dudes the death cult, the laughing coffin guys, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly who they are. They're somehow so powerful that they are able to attack this military installation.
Yeah.
Well, it's either that or just another country that's trying to get the technology. Because don't forget that this is all a military operation.
To be honest, I don't quite exactly remember like the Wrath faction and who. Well,
Wrath is just a company that's being. I thought Wrath was a company that's being outsourced by the Japanese military to come up with AI.
Is a cover company for the Japanese military's AI project.
But I remember this was like more than half the season ago. It was like the last scene. It was like last scene we saw in the real world. I remember Asuna and the scientist woman were like at a table, and then someone noticed a ship in the background of the shot.
Well, okay.
Like, are they supposed to be there? And they're like, I'm not sure.
This is
basically the follow-up to that.
This is one thing I really like. I do like about this episode is that you're right. That happened like episodes and episodes and episodes and episodes ago, but in the real world, it just happened.
Right.
So like that boat that they saw all those episodes ago, it just finally arrived in the real world. Like it just literally was coming. It's just that we've been watching stuff at super high speed inside the underworld.
Yeah. So
I did like that. I like that that's like, oh, okay, well, this is what's been going on in the real world. It's like, it's only been like, 30 minutes or something.
But basically, the attack was they showed that it was coming. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. They showed the viewer that something wasn't right. It was just a while ago.
But then to flip it on its head, one thing I didn't like is that Kirito uses the crystal laptop to then basically voice communicate with the real world.
And it's like, wait a minute, your time is way accelerated.
Yeah, it's like, how does this work?
These guys, the people talking back to him should sound like they're talking in really slow motion.
Well, there's in the thread. Apparently, this wasn't like said at all, but apparently on the computer screen that Kirito is accessing, he clicked a button that basically set like some sort of ratio to 1. And people assume that was like the time dilation ratio, where it's like, all right, this sets it to be equal.
So he just set Underworld to be normal speed
before we started talking.
I'll accept it.
Someone actually mentioned in a thread like that actually might be the smartest thing.
Was it in the? Was it in the episode?
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, but it was on the computer and you probably weren't paying attention.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say anything.
It was like one frame.
It was something he actually had to he clicked something on the computer. It was just a button and he said accept.
How can they get that kind of thing right, and then so much of the other plot just so poorly written? It's so weird.
Whatever happened to Elevator Chan?
Oh, don't worry, we'll get back to her when she dies.
Yeah.
I thought she already died.
Feel bad.
No.
Well, the next season is called like Sword Art Online
territory.
Yeah, it's like basically the war.
It's like shit.
Cool.
Also, Asuna was like diving in at the end there. I guess she is absolutely. That entire crew is absolutely going to end up in this world eventually.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that was just a vision.
No. There's no way Sword Online are not. At the very least, Asuna is absolutely going in that world.
Well, I think she would, but I'm just saying I don't think that was happening in that moment.
Well, what happened at the very end of the episode? It seemed like everything.
The power went out.
Yeah, the power went out,
and his brain is stored in the power.
Yeah.
No.
And it showed.
But is he already out at the time?
And he's like glitching out because he's just been deleted by the power outage.
And even like the animation was showing like intentional glitches,
which I thought was kind of again.
Yeah,
production values are very good on this show, and I thought that was a cool effect. So yeah, that was it. And then like now we're left in a cliffhanger. It's like, oh my god, did Kirito survive the power outage? Yes, probably. It's Kirito.
Speed, stop typing.
Sorry.
Yeah, we can hear every single thing you type, by the way.
Sorry.
I mean, we don't know what you're typing, but
you're still typing.
I'm sorry. I just got to finish typing. Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
You had to ban someone.
All right.
That's
it for this episode.
All right.
No, we're still going.
We have to review the show as a whole now. So what did you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Sword Art Online Alicization review. Okay. It's butt.
Mm-hmm.
I've said this before, and I'll just say it briefly here. But there's a lot of plotting in this season. Like the actual way the story progresses from plot point to plot point feels really strange to me. Things like the librarian literally showing up out of nowhere and basically explaining how everything works. Like, really? That's
okay, we have the first part which is like the first episode is like child, kid, and then the next few episodes are like, oh,
it's so weird.
We're gonna cut down this tree and then go fuck off to the academy, and then they skip like years, and it's like we're at the academy.
There's also some weird like decisions as
well. And then the entire second half is just a series of unforgettable fights against forgettable knights.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but also, so we eventually we learned relatively early on that they need to get to the tower to defeat the administrator to basically, like, I don't know,
fix all the memories.
Yeah. But like they didn't know how they're going to get to the tower. Like they were just training as knights, but it didn't seem like they had a plan at that point.
Well, at that point, they were just like, we need to find Alice. We need to get into the integrity and find Alice.
Yes.
Yeah.
They didn't actually have a plan. I guess their actual plan was to like work at the work. I think their actual plan was to work their way up because they didn't know about the memory thing.
Well,
right. Like they wanted to become integrity knights.
So the author of the show writing it, he's thinking like, how am I going to get them into the tower? I know. I'll have them get jailed by performing some crime. What will that crime be, I wonder? How about women get raped and they defend these women getting raped for some reason? And is that a crime? Sure, let's make that a crime. I just want to see women get raped. It just feels so weird, and it's somewhat coincidental.
There's a whole lot of like unnecessary sexual stuff in this season, like all of it, like through the except for the very beginning when they're in the village, like that's all very wholesome and what you would want to see in like a light fantasy. But then once they get to the university, it's just all kinds of weird, creepy sex stuff.
Like just board the rape train at that point.
So the fact that how Kirito and you to the tower was a little bit like just coincidental, like they just happened to stumble there. And I think coincidences are a thing in stories sometimes. You know, like a chance encounter. You know,
like
someone just being at the right place at the right time. You know, that happens in stories all the time. Where, like, for example, My Hero Academia, just Deku saving Bakugo when All Might was right there. Like, that was a coincidence that led, basically, catalyzed the series. But just the fact that here, one of the catalysts for the plot is literally these douchebags are raping women, and it's just like, why? Why did you decide this is the way to do it? They aren't even like the villains of the story. They're just douchebags.
I know. I mean, just watching this season, I feel like there were more instances of that kind of thing than in the rest of the series put together.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like
Online Alicization is everything about Sword Art Online turned up another notch or two.
Yeah, because it's like there's the two girls, and there's Yu-Gi-Oh. No,
I forgot.
No, there's the two girls. There's Yu-Gi-Oh. There's what happened to Alice when she was a kid. Then there's the clown guy.
And then our villain is just straight up naked for like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
The villain thing feels like a Metal Gear Solid 5 quiet thing. Where it's just like, I want them to be naked, and I'm just going to create some silly...
when you find out the reason she's always naked, you'll be ashamed of your words and deeds.
Like, sure, yeah.
She never really had a reason outside of the fact that she was omnipotent.
Well, she also realized that it was like a fake world, and I guess her logic is, well,
I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, why should I care about clothes? And it doesn't really make sense. Like, but that's the logic they throw behind. Why is she naked? Because of that.
Well, that logic breaks down because she sometimes wears clothes.
Yeah.
Well, when she's not trying to be like, I don't give a fuck, when she's trying to be like, oh, I'm good. No, true.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm wearing clothes. And when she doesn't care, it's just like, fuck this.
Yeah. I mean, I almost want to give them props for being bold enough to go there, but it's just off-putting.
Yeah.
So yeah, my one sentence review of Sword Art Online Alicization is everything you hate and chuckle hate at in Sword Art Online, but turned up a bit. Because I think like, you know how there's parts of Sword Art Online where we're like, oh man, this is so bad, but it's in a way I'm really laughing at and can get behind, like Space Battleship and other stuff. In this this season, it's like fuck lights, holy shit.
Yeah,
God, that's so stupid.
They literally discover this human soul.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
but
and
then
then
the like creepy gross shit is also way worse this season.
oh yeah, it's the worst. I mean,
Oh,
again,
yeah.
that's the number one strike, is that it's just like the over sexualization in a creepy way is just turned up to 11.
There's also other weird. Oh, sorry. You were
Right.
Well, if you've got another negative, give it out, because I'm about to give it some positives.
okay.
The story is
Level
totally
the playing field.
So I have two other things.
So is the pacing.
There's other plotting issues, like, so Alice, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Kirito are all fighting the first time they meet in the tower,
Mm-hmm.
and the author decides, okay, I need to split up this group somehow. I need Kirito and Alice to join with each other, and I need Yu-Gi-Oh to go off on his own somehow. Like, I need to do this. Why? I just do. How am I going to do that? I know. I'm just going to have like the tower literally explode for literally no reason, and that happens.
And never is explained.
Yeah, and then when they meet Yu-Gi-Oh again, he's basically been turned evil, but that like entire subplot is totally pointless, as he gets basically turned back good immediately, and then they're just all together again. It's just,
He was like, okay, I need a reason for Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh to have a fight.
basically what that weird plotting allowed them to do is they allowed Alice to basically get talk no jutsu'd by Kirito to realize that she's actually on the wrong side and she needs to join them. It feels like actually like literally this is what poor writing is. Like,
I think it's a combination of bad writing, and also I get this real sensation that this has all been super condensed.
Yeah, because remember when we mentioned how they like go from the town to the school, and it's like, oh, then 3 years passed.
Yeah.
Apparently, they did actually cut out a bunch of stuff from the novel.
Right.
It feels like he kind of knew how he wanted like the ultimate confrontation to take place, but he didn't know exactly like the different like how to get there. And so that's when weird things come up where it's like, oh yeah, I need to explain this shit, so I need to have this librarian just come out of nowhere and start to explain it. And I need to get Alice to become a sympathetic character to Kirito's plight here, so I'm going to have to do something to get her off guard, and an explosion. You know, it's like
There's like 30 different things.
Do you remember the names of a single name of one of the other Integrity Knights?
Nope.
No.
Except they all had numbers.
Remember the one time where Kirito suddenly like mansplained feminism to that lady?
Oh, that was great.
I forgot about that. Oh my gosh.
Low key, one of the best. What the fuck is even happening moments from the show?
I mean, at one point we're gonna do the worst moment rankings, and it's just gonna be things from this show.
JC Kohler wanted to say a positive.
Okay.
Well, okay. So to be fair, so the show is not the worst ever, and there are some reasons for that. First of all, like I've been saying forever, the show is well produced. Like the quality of the animation is, I think, above average. It's probably.
Yes, I think the production is unimpeachable.
It's pretty much really good. Characters are always on model. There's almost every episode has at least a moment or two of really stellar animation. And it just looks great. It looks like a really great designs on everything. Everything looks good. Yeah, the sword golem was stupid, but CG. But like the world itself and all their outfits and their costumes and the characters, they all look good. And it looks really good. And another thing I like about the show, I mean, the music is pretty solid, although I don't think it's quite this as memorable this season, but I think it's good. I think that on the whole, the good guy characters are mostly likable. I think Kirito was not offensive this season. I thought he was actually kind of reserved and okay for the most part.
When he wasn't mansplaining feminism.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, yeah, that's true. That's a pretty bad slam on him. But I will say that on the whole, he wasn't being.
We didn't have as much of like Kirito jumps into a game for the first time, and now, oh man, he's just won the Overwatch League.
Right. And then
I mean, we still had that.
The last thing I would say too is that like, and I think I've said this before as well, is that like, it just feels like there's a really cool premise here that's being ruined by bad writing. But like the overall idea of this world and how it works, and the whole concept of your consciousness being uploaded into a virtual world that's being sped up and having to live out a life, kind of like there's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation called The Inner Light, where Picard lives a lifetime in the matter of like 15 minutes.
I literally watched that episode today.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. No.
Emmy award winning episode, and
so
it's a cool concept. It's a cool idea that like for everyone in the world, time's going normally, but for this person, he's living out like a lifetime. And I think it's a great concept, and it's a really neat idea. And it's just so there's a lot of kind of good things about the show, but they're really just a small portion of a pie of a whole bunch of crap. Like there's just a lot that's not good.
Remember Boot Bomb?
Yeah.
What?
Remember when that scientist lady was like, oh, and then Kayaba.
Oh, right. You put the bomb in her boob.
God, the show's fucking nonsense.
So when we go to rank it, which we're about to do, I just wanted to throw that out there to say, like, look, there are shows on this list that like aren't very entertaining to watch and look like garbage. And this doesn't look like garbage. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. But also, like, the weight of those, the rapey shit has just become extreme at this point. So, it's time to rank it.
I'm really glad those two women characters that got raped got plenty of screen time, so we really got to know them and become well-developed characters that we care about.
Yep.
If someone's listening to this is in the thread and knows the answer to this, I want to know, was there like 6 chapters of a story that were dedicated to these characters that we just didn't see in the show, or is that just how it is?
I imagine probably.
Were they just introduced and killed, or introduced and raped within the matter of like 1 chapter?
Probably.
So yeah.
Well, maybe like 2 chapters.
Everyone take a second to think about where they want to rank Sword Art Online now. And then type it into that box. Don't enter it yet.
Because SAO is at 46
so currently
right
it's
now.
at 46, and the bottom is 54. So
right.
What?
Yeah.
So it's
About
9
8.
from the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's in the bottom 10.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it. I know where I'm going to put it.
I don't think it's going to go up. Why even kidding?
Why do you keep saying that? Of course it's not going up.
Do you think this
numbers come in, someone has it at like 35?
What dumbass would do?
All right, so type in the number on the list of where you think it should appear. If it was added. Or type in the number where you think it would appear, taking into consideration that you're not removing where it is currently.
Right. So if we're putting it at 50, that means Unicorn is moving down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Push everything below down.
Hypothetically.
Right.
All right. Is everyone ready?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. 3, 2, 1, enter.
What did B put?
I had to send it over Discord. I'm using my phone.
What did he put, Greg?
54.
I put 54.
Okay, he put 54, which is the lowest. Greg?
Yeah.
I put the highest at 49.
I put 50,
wow.
and Grexino put 53.
See, I was just thinking Tokyo Ghoul is still worse.
B-Dubs, you wanted it below Tokyo Ghoul?
No, I want it just above.
Okay, so you want it below Tenchi Muyo.
Yeah.
Okay, so Seda has it at 49, which would be between Shippuden and Dimension W.
I don't know that it's better than Dimension W.
I've got C-Polar has it at 50, which is between Dimension W and Unicorn. I've got it at 53, which is underneath the Kame ga Kill.
And I've got it just below GXP.
Okay.
We're at the point where we're discussing like bad shows.
Yes.
These are all bad shows.
So I will say I did not watch Unicorn. So like that's like one of the only shows I did not watch. So it's hard.
Right.
Here's the interesting parallel to Unicorn and why I put it at 50 is because it's a show with great production values that's just really like poorly written.
Yeah.
Because I did not care at all about Unicorn's story. It was just completely forgettable.
I mean, if we were ranking these shows just purely based on animation and music and stuff, Unicorn would probably be top 5 easy.
Yeah, it'd be up at near the 10 in the top 10. But the point is that like it's very similar in that way where it's like there's good production values, good music, just characters and story you don't like, and that's kind of what this is as well.
It's very boring, but at the same time, it's not blatantly offensive.
And the reason I would put it above, if it was me, why I would put it above Unicorn is because I didn't enjoy watching Unicorn. It felt like a real slog, but I get a kick out of watching SAO Alicization because it's like so bad it's good sometimes.
For the wrong reasons.
Well, I don't want to say it's so bad it's good. It's just so bad that it's like watching a train wreck, and it's exciting to watch a train wreck.
Yes, it is the thing we talked about where SAO is mostly boring and stupid, except for the parts that make you go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, except for the
but
parts
it got us talking.
Yeah, except for the parts where the stupidity just sort of transcended what we believed was possible.
Until the stupidity starts becoming nasty.
So I guess what I'm saying is I'm advocating for a little bit higher than some of the lower scores you guys were giving it because of the fact that like at least there was some entertainment value to be had, whether except for the fact that it's not what the show intended.
I think
versus
the thing that
some of the shows at the very bottom of the list, which are just not rewatchable.
The thing that I took most into account is that I am punishing it for now. It's like, okay, you've seriously got to stop with this creepy stuff.
That is true. Like I put Sword Art Online above Dimension W. That's more of a me criticizing Dimension W than praising Sword Art Online.
But Dimension W does not have.
There's one episode in Dimension W that gets pretty.
They did kind of sexualize the android girl a little bit,
but nothing on the level of what happens in Sword Art Online Alicization. And also, by the way, we are re-ranking Sword Art Online with the addition of Alicization.
Yeah, and that's another thing that kind of makes it a little higher for me too, because it does have the one arc, the Sleeping Knights arc, that I thought was really good.
I think after this season, that's been almost the goodwill I was willing to give it over that one part that was actually pretty okay. Is like, all right, you've completely eradicated all that goodwill.
Yeah, but it's still a part of the show that we are considering in our ranking.
Yes, and I'm saying
obviously it's a smaller percentage of it rather than being 6 episodes out of.
It's half of a season, actually.
Yeah. It's not even. It's not even half of a season. It's almost it's like quarter of a season.
How many episodes total? Like 75, and that was 6.
Yeah, I feel like that's not enough at this point to keep it like as high as it is.
It felt like it was written by someone else.
It actually does.
I will say, it's like looking at like the bottom 4, especially Beware the Batman, Akame ga Kill, and Tenchi Muyo. Like those have like no production values. Just
no production values and stories that you just don't care at all.
I don't think it can go below Tenchi Muyo because I think Tenchi Muyo and Tokyo Ghoul are the two where it's like there is absolutely zero redeeming factors here.
The Sword Art Online does have a decent dub and decent production values, although there were some
a good part. It has a good part.
A good part.
Shows do not have anything.
It's not like I don't like Asuna. I'm just sort of indifferent to Asuna.
She's better, but
she was better this season.
She's a perfectly bland anime waifu, which means, of course, she's the most popular thing of all time.
Yeah,
better than being secondary.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about the whole because this is kind of moving. It's either like we have a Beware the Batman. Where does that fit into all this?
What do you mean? I mean, it's a poorly produced show that is not interesting, and has it took Batman, and how do you mess up Batman?
Yeah.
Well, first off, you toss out Batman's famous rogues gallery that everyone loves, and replace
just
it
have
with
the
a bunch
worst
of
villains
fucking
ever.
nobodies. And the one time you do use a rogues gallery, he's so fucking boring, and also it's fucking hideous.
Yeah.
And Batman sucks in the show.
So are we maybe thinking putting Sword Art Online just above or below Unicorn? Then it seems like that's be somewhat in the middle of where we originally voted. And
the reason I would put it above A Calm I Got Kill and also Beware the Batman is because now I'm giving it credit for the parts where, well, it's dumb and stupid and bad, but in a way I'm laughing at.
Yeah.
Right.
And those two shows, it's like they're dumb and stupid and bad, and I'm not really laughing.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me to watch Batman or A Calm I Got Kill again.
I think putting it above Unicorn is an insult to Unicorn. I think a lot of what we didn't like about Unicorn would definitely have been not a factor if the situation of how we watched it was different. If it had not been mostly fucking 5 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know.
Again, I haven't seen Unicorn,
so bad.
but it seems like Unicorn's only main selling point in terms of the reason why it's not lower than it is simply because it looks great.
Also, if we cared about Universal Century Gundam, we didn't. But
you know what though? See, I thought about that though. I don't think maybe if you were a huge Gundam fan and loved the Universal Century, you probably like Unicorn more. But Unicorn doesn't have any of those. We're learning from Origin, those classic characters. It's got these new characters who are just
if you like
bad.
Universal Century Gundam, you just kind of like Universal Century Gundam and the whole thing, how it just kind of works.
Yeah. I just meant that what kills Unicorn is the story and its characters.
Yeah, but
I don't care. I don't care about Full Frontal.
Yeah.
I wonder if Minerva will show up in Origin as a baby.
No, because she's wet.
Oh, wait.
That's way past.
I don't know how far Origin goes into present day. I don't know how much of present day Char we see in the original series. Anyway,
Minerva's like a clone, right?
Oh, I didn't watch Unicorn. I should probably stop talking.
Anyway, look, Unicorn trying to say Sword Art Online's better.
I would put Sword Art Online above Unicorn for me.
I would not. I think that's got to be, and that feels like
mainly because of the rapey shit.
That feels like just us. Yes, also the rapey shit.
Yeah.
And then the rapey shit is my argument for why we go below Beware the Batman and A Calm I Got Kill, because those are bland and boring and bad, but they don't get that bad.
Right.
All right. Well, let's put it to a vote then. If that's where we're settling, it's either above or below Unicorn. So everybody put either up or down.
No, I haven't actually, because I.
What?
Well, okay, so just for now, it's is it above or below Unicorn?
Okay.
Not final ranking though.
Okay.
Right. All right.
I think it's below Unicorn.
All right, I'd put it above it.
I might have to abstain because I haven't seen it. I just assume it looks good and that's it for Unicorn.
B-dubs.
I'm going below.
Yeah.
So that's 2 belows, 1 up.
Yeah.
I think I think it has to be below Unicorn.
Okay.
I mean, Unicorn is very, very dull. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but it's also incredibly gorgeous looking.
All right. Well,
it doesn't have the specific bad thing that Sword Art Online keeps doing.
Trying to narrow down a complex show to these small categories is always going to be problematic. Where we can say that Unicorn and Sword Art Online are both well-produced shows, but one of them is rapey shit and one of them doesn't. So,
yeah.
One is pandering in a bad way.
Right. And the other isn't pandering right at all.
One of them is pandering to some other people that have watched some of the things that we haven't.
Right.
So then I think it's it either goes above Beware the Batman or below A Calm I Got Kill.
That's where we bring in the production value thing, because obviously Sword Art Online has better production value than either of those, and I'm talking both animation and dub voice acting here.
Right.
So
I didn't even mention the dub. The dub is great.
why don't we split the difference and go below Batman, but above a Kamiga Kill?
Well, what's the argument for why Beware the Batman would
Yeah,
be better?
what the hell? Who's defending Beware the Batman?
Well, then the answer again
Good
would
point.
be Beware the Batman doesn't have that rapey shit.
I mean, if we're gonna say that,
Kill also somehow manages to not. It has that edgy shit, but it's not quite that.
I mean, if that's the
Black guy whose name I forget.
okay, if that's sort of the standard we're taking, then it's basically got to go all the way below Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, I know. See, that's the thing. I don't want to go there. Like, here's the thing. I'll say it again. To me,
alone, it should be above Beware the Batman.
I think it's where it is. I think it's above where the Batman, and the reason it's there is because of this really rapey shit. Now, the thing is, I did not enjoy. I barely could watch Beware the Batman. Like, it was so mind-numbingly bad that I just barely forced myself. I probably skipped an episode or two. I never skipped an episode of SAO because it was always entertaining enough.
You always were like, oh man, I can't wait to see how fucking bad this goes this week.
Right. Yeah. Remember when like Beware the Batman got written off, so they had to just like.
Yeah, I never watched that. I never saw
the rest of it in a marathon. That was fun.
Man, remember when shows would like just get written off and then it was like, fuck.
Yeah, it is. Batman is one of those shows that was just like whatever.
I think it's
above. All right, okay, let's put it above for now, and then when next season comes, we'll put it below.
Okay. Or next season might be a big improvement.
No,
I'm sure.
Might be awesome.
I'm sure it will be.
So we're saying it's above Beware the Batman.
I think
so. Take it away
barely
from where it was, and then put it where it needs to be,
and then reorganize. And
so it's going from 46
to 50.
Yeah.
To 50.
Yep.
All right, I can live with that.
Sword Art Online it's in the bottom five, baby.
Yep.
It went from number 9, like 9 from the bottom to 5 from the bottom.
Okay, yeah. I guess I can see this bottom 4 being the like truly, literally no enjoyment to be had at any point in the
right.
That's the thing. I can enjoy Sword Art Online, but it's just for the reason. It's none of the reasons that they intended it.
Right. Well, I will say GXP did have that one episode where we all thought we were on drugs, and that was pretty funny.
GXP was funny for like an episode, and then it super wasn't ever again.
I remember one episode, and this is the episode that B-Dubs is talking about, I think, where like it follows that lucky guy, and it's just like so batshit crazy, and it's just like you feel like you're on drugs. Like what? The hell? Anyways, we have a block to talk about.
Yep. Lupin the Third.
Oh, good.
Lupin the Third, Part 5, Episode 5, A Crook's Resolve. In this episode, Lupin is dead, and now the whole world has to move on without him. Like Zenigata is getting reassigned to the narcotics division.
Nope, it was all a big hoax.
Nope, obviously Lupin's not dead. They tricked everyone. Everyone was in on it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Good job, Lupin.
I will say that I was impressed that they didn't use just catch-up to simulate. They actually used augmented reality, fitting with the show's theme of high technology. I thought, okay, there you go.
So what you're saying is, I shouldn't say this because that's too new.
So, like the start mode, these assassin guys. I don't know if they got the money yet, or they're planning what to do with the money for having Lupin die on the death day. And then
no, remember they didn't get the money because
I know
the money,
right? But it's just they. So why did Emmy go to like visit them again? I'm trying to remember exactly why.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that either. So she just showed up there, or no, wait, was she told to go there by that guy? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't know why she was there. If that was part of her plan or that she was double crossing him, I don't remember. Why?
I just didn't remember. That's why I asked.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why she showed up there. I think it was like, yeah, actually no memory of that. It just happened. She just was suddenly there, and she's like, well, we're playing a trick on you. But also, was it ever explained how she wasn't underwater?
AR.
That was part of it.
Basically,
it was like a filter. Okay, all right. She hacked the camera or something.
But yeah, Lupin has defeated Silk Road, and Zenigata gets to come in with this epic burn of "I'm in the narcotics division."
Yeah, I mean for like all of 20 minutes.
Yep.
Okay, so I just looked up the Wikipedia summary of this episode, and all it says was Ami contacts Marco Polo to work out a deal. I'm not sure if we knew what that was exactly, but
I think it was like, well, I can work for you guys, I guess.
But basically, what they wanted from her was Lupin's like assets. Like, okay, he's dead. You have to know something about like all the stuff he's stolen and all that. And,
they wanted their money back.
And basically they were going to drown her to force her to talk, but that was all. That was never going to work. So then we learned that Lupin is actually not dead and he's still alive. And
the gang are all conspired. So like Jigen was the one that was the sniper.
Yeah.
And Fujiko
Goemon was the one who was taking out the like chick in the library.
Fujiko was in control of the drone the whole time.
Yeah.
And then those three guys get put on the Death Day website. Yeah. It's kind of it's almost like morbidly amusing. Like, haha, now you're gonna have to run for your life.
Happy Death Day.
Yeah.
some dude in a baby mask and
Yeah, beware that guy with the fishing pole. He's coming after you now.
Yep.
Well, the big downer for me on this episode, though, is that Emmy's leaving. She's leaving the show. She's going to school.
She'll be in and out like Rebecca was.
Yeah. I mean,
she will.
Real.
Yes. I think yes. I'm 100% sure.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, because they kind of painted it like this was it. Like this was the end of her arc, and then she's gone.
It's time to go into some one-off episodes.
Yeah. I will say this episode was really good, especially like the outdoor shots. Like there's some really cool like environment effects with like where sunlight, like sunbeams and things like that. Yeah. And like shadows. It looked really nice. Oh yeah, and the animation in this episode again was really good. Like some of the motion and the framing of certain shots and stuff. It looks. There were times in this episode where I kind of felt like this looks almost like movie quality animation. Yeah. Like if there was a Lupin 2D movie, it would.
Have you seen that 3D movie that they're making of Lupin?
Yeah,
that looks so good.
It does look pretty good.
I think Lupin's like monkey face sort of works in CG. Like it's kind of a goofy, silly looking face. And so
the one thing they don't show in that trailer though is what Fujiko looks like.
No, they show her briefly.
Oh, they do. Oh,
yeah, she's like firing a machine gun in a group shot or something.
Oh, okay.
You need to look this up because it looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. Oh,
yeah, and so
there it is.
Yeah, someone actually mentioned in a thread how like the animation for this season
that's good.
Sometimes looks like Ghibli light, which obviously it's not going to have Ghibli production, but it kind of has that sort of same feel. Especially with like some of the, like I said, like sunlight and shadows.
Yeah,
it's really good environment.
It looks like it's got really good art direction.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
We also saw Emmy, like slowly become it was actually not that slow, but she became less of a robot and more like a girl. Like
now she can go to school. This is the plot of Ichijo.
Yeah, and her big character moment obviously came when she was pretending to be drowning. How like she was talking about she didn't care about any of this, but then she learned how exciting it was, and that's sort of like what's been forcing her or coercing her to break out of her shell a little bit, like new experiences and how they can be exciting for her. And she's become less of a recluse, and now she's going to school.
Yeah, the last episode and this episode really redeemed her characters, because up until then I wasn't really liking it. Again, I think I kind of she felt a little too robotic and too like not interesting. And then when she started like going a little loopy last episode, and then in this episode where she just feels like a normal person, is like a huge improvement.
Mm-hmm.
So, Food Wars. Episode Shokugeki no Soma, episode 2, God Tongue. In this episode, this just is such a bad voice for this character.
It kind of comes and goes though.
Yeah, the voice actress is also they can't like really keep it up because they also know how bad it is.
I think doing a typical Valley accent for like extended periods of time is also just hard.
Yes, it's not an easy accent to do. Like,
So like sometimes if you have several sentences in a row to say, you can't keep it up. Just
it's very hard to keep saying oh my god before every sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very easy to get the accent going for like, oh my god, can you believe it? But anything past that is kind of really hard.
So is God tongue an innuendo as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Probably. I mean,
Oh yeah, this show wears its over sexualization on its sleeve. I mean, every establishing shot of Erina was of her ass.
Yeah.
Like every scene began with a shot where you were looking basically straight at her ass before she was introduced.
There was even one scene where like the dad was like, you have to find a woman that makes you a better person or something like that. And then like the very next shot is like Erina's butt. Like or some girl's butt in like a sweatsuit.
Could it be this butt?
Now, I'm kind of sounding like I'm ragging on it, but the more I watch this, the more I'm kind of enjoying it. And it's like and this is a show where I feel like it's so bad it's good, because I think it is. I'm starting to get the impression it's self-aware.
Man, this is so bad it's good, and then eventually you're just like, this is good.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, but I will say that like it's so over the top and stupid that I'm like into it because like it's fun. Again, I'd much rather watch a fun show if it's bad than a boring show, you know.
This is a show where Erina's back, like her first words were, it's like, man, this milk lacks flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
it's goofy.
It's an anime thing where apparently she's only 15 years old, but yet she's like the owner, like in control of like every food establishment somehow. Like,
yeah.
Okay, that's sure. Whatever, Japan.
Is she a food critic? Is that what she is?
I think that's what it is. Like she
literally has perfect taste. So
yeah. Like if she says something tastes bad, then it's bad.
The moment that I really clicked with me where I was like, okay, show, all right, I get what you're going for. This is goofy. Is the little like Yuri moment where her assistant, like, she's like, oh, you're going to make another dish. And then like Erina starts like kind of flirting almost with her. And then like it shows like these real like shoujo like looking pictures of them coming together with this outline on the screen. And it's like, okay, yeah, see, you're just hamming it up. And I'm like, okay, show, if you're going to be like that, I'm okay with you.
It does show, I think moments like that do show that we're not supposed to take this seriously, like 100%. Right. Like, it's supposed to be just silly and goofy. Now, the dub is not... One other thing was, like the way they kept pronouncing her last name was...
I almost wish the dub was leaned even farther into just being a joke.
Being a gag dub, yeah.
Just being
what's your last name? Like Narika?
Like it's Nakari.
Nakiri. Right. But the way Japanese pronunciations, as far as I understand it, is that they don't
are always said the same way.
They're more even emphasis. Where in English, like every word has emphasis on some syllable. So it's like they were saying Nakari, but it's more. It's like I'm assuming it's more.
So it sounds like Erina Daiquiri.
Yeah, it's more. I think the last name is supposed to be more even emphasis, and it can be hard to say if you're not practiced, I guess. But
sometimes it's deliberate in these things. It makes me wonder because the Persona 5 dub is infamous for being told to deliberately repronounce how names are.
Well,
so like, wait, I have to give you one though, just as an example. So one of the most generic Japanese names is Sakamoto. Everybody knows Sakamoto, right? Yeah. But in Persona 5, the voice actors were said to pronounce it Sakamoto.
Yeah.
What?
Well, also, like Naruto, that way we say it is not.
How Yuri Lowenthal to pronounce it.
Yuri Lowenthal's way is more accurate. Like,
Yuri Lowenthal is like, shut up, you can't make me.
Yeah, I actually speak Japanese, so I know how to pronounce this. It's cool.
To be honest, I didn't notice her name being pronounced wrong when I was watching the episode, but I think I was just sort of like typing at the time. So
yeah.
But anyway. I mean, it's kind of entertaining, and I kind of see what. I mean, I don't know if this is like, if the formula is like dish of the week, but I kind of get that impression.
So the formula, they still haven't quite gotten into. They've gotten into the setting better, but they haven't quite gotten into the formula, which is constant Iron Chef battles with like Yu-Gi-Oh tier stakes. where it's like a lot more is riding on the results of this Iron Chef battle than should be.
Like someone's going
to stakes.
Like someone is going to the Shadow Realm.
Like, if you don't win this food battle, these knives will cut off your arm. Not like that, but it gets good. It gets like, oh man, it gets like Yu-Gi-Oh! Good, where it's like these stakes are dumb. I'm into this, and then it eventually gets to, okay, come on, stop this.
The fate of the world.
Literally,
the fate of the world is dependent on how well I can make this casserole.
Yeah, basically.
See, if it does it tongue in cheek, I'm cool with it.
The problem is that it eventually stops becoming tongue in cheek and starts playing it too straight.
Well, I will say too. Also, I liked the opening. I thought it was pretty good.
The OP?
Yeah.
I literally forget completely about it.
It's not super memorable. I just remember when I was watching it thinking, oh, this is nice.
It's so extremely forgettable for me. I can't remember a single thing about it.
I wouldn't nominate it for anything. I'm just going to say that it was it was a decent song, and I thought it was a better produced opening than I was expecting for this show.
But yeah, this episode kind of introduces the thing someone's going to do constantly, which is be a diner guy, put down some dish that looks dumb and stupid, and then be like, but wait, and then it's amazing.
Right.
Yeah, the classism is definitely a big problem with this show.
You run a diner? I run an entire conglomerate. Also, Aaron is there's at the end, there's this fucking samurai dude who takes a bite of this dish. And
I think I know who that is. That's her dad or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
obviously.
know why Valley Girl is that, and her dad is like.
Because she basically says at the end of the episode, it's like, there's no way you're getting kicked out of this place. The only thing that could protect you would be my father. And then who comes in and tastes his dish at the end?
Yep.
Some guy who probably is her daughter or her father. So, yeah.
Yeah.
A grandfather. Sorry.
Or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Relative.
Like it's some old guy that looks like he should have like 1,000-armed, god thing as his, ability.
Well, you mean he just looks like Netero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like he's probably got like 1,000 tongues or some dumb bullshit. I don't know how this series works. Well, like he's probably got some dumbass power that's like, yes, I can taste things in like the 12th dimension.
I don't think they're going to have powers in this episode. They're just going to have like tropes. People are going to have tropes.
Right. Somebody's going to be like, I am invincible at dessert. Right.
Yeah. Or like I'm the guy who you think is a good guy, but I'm really a bad guy.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Speaking of that, Black Clover. Black Clover episode 78, Peasant Trap. Did they really just rip off Parent Trap? Yes, they did. I forget what happened in this episode. It was so bland and forgettable.
I'm actually having trouble remembering too.
Seriously, I remember that this Mimosa's brother who hates poor people is like cherry blossom.
Yeah, he uses his cherry blossom magic. He finds out the flame guy is not a noble, and then he's like, I can't be on your team.
Yeah,
I can't breathe your air.
Yeah. The only thing I keep looking forward to is every scene with Charmy.
Charmy continues to be just the Wizard King's child now.
Yeah. Well,
she's like straight up feeding him.
Yeah. At this point, Charmy's the only thing saving the series because Yami isn't around.
No, Mushroom Guy is pretty good. I want to see more of ridiculous Yowie face Mushroom.
Oh, they actually finally started subtitling, what is it, Gregory's speech?
Yeah.
They've been doing that for a while, actually.
I haven't noticed until now.
Yeah, you tend not to notice a lot of things in this show, B-Dubs, I've noticed.
Who pays attention to this show?
Well, don't be surprised to learn that they've been subtitling What's-His-Face for a while now.
He can't even remember his name.
His name is
Gordon?
On the tip of my tongue.
There you go, Gordon.
Gordon, yeah.
Yeah, Gordon. After Seda reminded us.
Yeah.
And Gregory.
I do
was
remember
close.
too, because last episode they had the subtitles on it, but what he was saying was slightly different than the subtitles.
I think it's been like that for a while too.
Yeah,
It's like the subtitles are a more direct translation of what he says in
yeah. It's probably just it's probably the direct
It's like
translation,
ad-libbing.
and then the guy has to say it differently to match the
I wonder if the
mouth
guy who's
flaps.
saying it, has it like is it all like scripted, or is he just sort of mumble here?
Are we ever going to get an arc for Gordon?
No, that's the joke.
Actually, I could see an arc.
Or in the background mumbling, I can't wait till my backstory arc.
It's never gonna happen.
I mean, actually, B-Dubs is kind of right. Like, the joke is that we would never care about him enough to give him an arc.
Everyone else would get it, but not him.
Right, because it's like nobody remembers he exists.
No, actually, you know what the funniest thing would be? Is if he did get an arc and it was easily the best arc in the series.
Yep.
And then nobody shows up for it. It's just him.
Yes.
And then it move out. It's a dream. It's Gordon's dream.
Oh, yeah. He wakes up and he's like, oh, my friends are not with me anymore.
Or literally he's daydreaming about, that would be so cool to be there with Hosta.
Yeah, they should just have one episode called, like, Gordon's Best Day, where everybody's, like, really chummy with him, and they go out and have a party, and then it's all in his mind.
Yeah.
I think we know the episode title.
Okay.
Boruto, episode 39, The Path Lit by the Full Moon. Did you want Mitsuki's backstory? Here it is. He doesn't really know what's going on.
I enjoyed this. One thing that was weird, though, is that it's a little inconsistent that Mitsuki was so emoting in this bit, but he kind of doesn't in the show.
Yeah. It's a little weird.
He seemed like a normal person in his flashback, and then during the rest of the series, he's kind of like a robot.
Right.
So why is that?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I forgot most of what happened.
I liked the twist with the older ninja actually being another Mitsuki clone.
I started calling that before it happened. And I was like, yep.
Yeah.
So
it was good.
The whole thing was basically a test by Orochimaru to hope to have a son who would basically like think for himself.
No, I think he wanted Mitsuki to unlock the sage power so that when he eventually takes over his body, he's got even more hacks.
But also, it was like the episode is making you believe that Orochimaru is doing this evil thing when actually he's being a good parent.
That's what I was getting at. Like,
I mean, maybe
this episode looks to me like it's trying to redeem Orochimaru more.
I think the show is like, we already did that, so
yeah, exactly. It feels like what this episode is tricking you is like Orochimaru is doing this sinister thing, but in the end he's like, oh, he actually loves his son, and this whole test that he did was actually to help him grow.
Right, but at the
obviously
exact...
there's implications that you people feel like you can't just redeem Orochimaru, but like Greg said, it feels like yeah, we already did that. He's redeemed. Shut up.
Well, I mean, I just kind of feel like, he's cloning these guys, and he's a body jumper.
He has a sinister motive here. Like, I don't think the show is trying to say like he's actually good. No, he's actually evil. Like, I feel
I
could see an arc in the future where he tries to, jump bodies again.
I don't think so. I think I agree with Grex and Seda that like the show has decided that Orochimaru is a good guy. And the thing that's weird though is that like he's also grayish in that like he talks openly about the fact that's like, oh yeah, I let a clone die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you shouldn't do that because you're bringing life into the world, even if it's a clone, and then letting it die. That's kind of creepy, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
But in this episode, they're like showing that he cares about his clones, so it's kind of contradictory. I don't know.
I mean, he's got a weird way of showing he cares.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Also, there was a good fight sequence.
Yeah, this was actually well written for Kishimoto. I was expecting poor writing, and it actually wasn't that bad. So
I do think Mitsuki is, I do think he's a bit interesting as a character. He sort of fits like an archetype of being a character. Like, he's stoic. he's kind of naive because he doesn't know a whole lot about like people and society, and so that's why he's kind of aloof at times. But I don't think he fits that archetype like perfectly the way he's been introduced so far. Inherently
Also,
somewhat interesting, and there isn't like another. He's maybe sort of like a Psy, but not that. He's not quite the same.
Mhm.
So
they also. Oh, I'm sorry. I
don't
thought
know
you
what
were
else I was going to say. I feel like he's just there isn't really another narrative character like him, and I think that makes like perfectly like him. Yeah, there's some similarities, but I think that makes him a little bit more interesting in a way.
One other thing they kind of revealed too is that his name means literally the snake moon, which kind of sheds light, no pun intended, on this whole like I have to find my son, my SUN son, because he's the moon.
Yeah.
I think there's also a play on words in Japanese that just doesn't translate well.
Yeah, there's somebody mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about Naruto because it was another recap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's bad.
So let's talk about Gundam.
Okay.
Mobile Suit Gundam: The Origin, Advent of the Red Comet, Episode 2, A Promise with Mother. In this episode, they get locked. So I didn't realize that Char and his mom and such were actually like the illegitimate side of Zeon's family. Because like here's the actual wife, and it's like, oh. Then it's like, go get in this tower that we're definitely not going to pull you out of and execute you later. We're definitely not.
They were in like house arrest or something.
Yeah.
Oh, the hell.
What happened, B-dubs?
The hell was that? Some dumbass tried to call me.
Oh. But anyway, yeah, so then they escape, and there's a really funny scene where it's like, what's happening out there? And then you cut to this mech is rolling down a street, driving over cars.
Yeah, this is neat. These gun tanks, they call them gun tanks, which I'm assuming are like the precursors to Gundams.
And then somebody's like, gun tank, Gundam.
Yeah.
Well, gun tank is like one of the suits that's in the original series, and it's like a mass-produced model.
Oh, okay.
That they have. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, Kasval apparently is a natural because he's able to pilot this thing with no training.
Right.
He's like, oh wait, I got this. The show continues to be a surprise. It's actually pretty like funny.
Yes, I like it. It's entertaining. It's holding my interest. It's got good pacing, and the characters are likable. I like the characters.
I still couldn't necessarily tell you exactly what happened in this episode, but I don't mind.
Well, basically,
they're sending the kids to Earth.
Right.
And
it's like, I promise I'll come see you after the moon has done that thing where it changes about, what was it, like 20 times?
Well, he said 100 times, which equals about 8 years.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. No.
Time skip,
What I was
probably.
going to say was, like, this episode was not very kind to, like, young Sayla. Like, it's kind of showing how shitty her childhood's going to be. She's like, how old is she here? Like 5?
It's not great.
I like her though. She's like kind of,
she's adorable. She's I don't know if this is the right word.
She's named Lucifer.
I mean, she's like in this otherwise really dreary story, there's just like these little moments of like her being cute and kind of lightens the mood a little bit. One thing is, here's a confession I have to make because I couldn't believe this. When their mother was telling them that they were going to go to Earth, I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I did not put it together until the scene when they were in space that I realized that they were living on that colony the whole time. The space colony. I thought they were on Earth the whole time. And I was like, what? You're on Earth. Where are you going? I just felt really stupid when I didn't realize that. They were on the Munzo colony, apparently.
But the reason why the kids are going to Earth is just basically get away from the zombies. Because and that has something to do with Char's dad having like this power. And that gets
they're like rich too, right?
Yeah. And that's where it gets into like, because he died, there's a little bit of a like a power vacuum there. And then
basically he was the great revolutionary.
Right.
And then the zombies killed him and then blamed it on the Earth Federation so that they could like hijack his ideals and become the Nazis.
But like in true like form of these kinds of stories, they made the mistake of killing the father, and the son now has revenge inside
they
him.
failed to kill the kids, which means they're fucked.
Yeah, they're gonna come back. So one other thing we learned in this episode is the redheaded zombie woman like sleeps in the nude.
Yep, that was necessary.
I like her, Cecilia.
Yes, she's a good villain. I like her too.
And who is the blonde zombie? She's not a zombie, but
she's a good guy, but I don't know what her name is.
I also don't know.
Shit.
But yeah, she's cool.
That like when she and Ramba got caught, it's like, oh no. Anyway, My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia episode 58. Special episode, Save the World with Love. In this episode, it's time to advertise the movie, so gotta solve a murder, I guess.
Yep.
Weird.
My Hero case closed.
Yep.
To be fair, I actually enjoyed this episode, and I particularly liked the little like opening and ending sequences with All Might and Deku basically fourth wall breaking, being like, "Yeah, this is a promo for our movie. Hope you like it."
I am here to sell you movie tickets.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode is fine. It's silly.
There is that adorable sequence where like they needed Ochako to like do some spying.
So she like off in the air.
Sir. And then
like floats.
so the majority of this episode is like kind of like a whodunit, and they're trying to determine motives. And like Deku must have like this really vast imagination. He like comes up with this whole storyline in his head. Like after
Right.
she was in love with him, and she came in when he was in the middle of this heist, and then he felt so bad about it that he killed himself.
But he didn't actually kill himself.
Yeah, because
That's like the cheap part at the end where it's like, oh, come on.
I agree. That's not fair to the test, because
obviously he can't
like,
actually be dead as a test.
yeah, right. He's not. How could he not chuckle or sneeze at that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unfair.
Like you if you're taking a test, you just sort of assume, okay, he's supposed to be dead, and you can tell in a real situation if they're dead or not. But maybe they're just saying you should have tied him up anyway. I don't know. But yeah, we're not supposed to take it super serious.
Yeah, unfortunately they went too far and were like, Froppy basically like accidentally tickled him, and then she noticed him like sneeze or chuckle, and then she's like, oh, he's alive.
Obviously.
But that's like, no. Then he should have gone. All Might should have been like, well, shit.
Yeah.
I guess he couldn't have gone, I'm really alive. No, I don't know.
No.
It was not fair to the test anyway. Whatever.
Also, this doesn't matter. It's filler.
It doesn't matter. It's just a one-off. And
Right.
This whole
yeah.
Bakugo was really upset that this is actually like there was actually like a romance angle to all of this. Bakugo did not take that well.
Yeah.
No.
And they technically flunked it. So this was a flashback to when they were stuck in summer school, right, or something like that.
They decided to take some summer classes, and weird. It's the most important characters from the show.
Yeah.
And probably,
One thing it made me, aside from making me want to see that movie, the other thing it made me feel is like a little let down by the fact that All Might's kind of out of the picture for the rest of the series now, because he can't use his power anymore. And so that's kind of like, I think, a big loss for the series to not have All Might. Even though I know he's around, but he's not
he's skeletal mentor.
Yeah, he's not.
Right.
He's not going to be the big All Might that we see in this episode. So it's kind of a bummer. We did see like a couple of scenes from the movie like shown on a monitor, and the animation looked pretty good. And then like there was a call from the girl Melissa Shield. She calls him Uncle Might, which I thought was kind of cute.
Because
and
Also,
then
please never show me All Might with his eyes visible ever again.
he looked a little weird.
Absolutely not. No.
Just
never.
a little bit.
Stop that. That's disgusting.
I mean, that's what he should technically look like.
So it's sort of one of those things, like you get used to it, and then you realize, oh yeah, they don't ever show his pupils, do they?
Yeah.
Like
When they actually do, it's like,
entire-
what's wrong?
his entire eyes are covered in shadow, but now it's like you can see them light and clear, and it's like, oh, that looks wrong.
It is weird though too, that like because this is like that was like a flashback, and I have to say they did make him look younger somehow, and I don't think it was just the eyes. Somehow he looked younger, and that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So has anybody here seen that movie?
No.
No, I haven't seen it.
Of course, I haven't.
I'll probably check it out.
But yeah, that's Toonami this week.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently there's a new show coming, and but nobody can figure it out. So yeah, thank you, Seda, for being here tonight. Thank you, C. Kohler.
No prob.
Thanks, B Dubs.
Okay.
We'll see you guys next week for episode 160. Good night, everyone.